Victor stood at the gates of Glory International Academy, the bright sunlight reflecting off the polished school sign. His heart swelled with pride and gratitude. The journey to this point had been anything but easy. The scholarship battle with his stepmother, Agatha, was still fresh in his mind. But here he was, ready to start a new chapter. Victor promised himself he would make the most of this opportunity. However, back at home, Agatha was not done with her schemes. Her bitterness had only grown, and she was determined to bring Victor down no matter what. Life at Glory International Academy was everything Victor had dreamed of. The classrooms were modern, the teachers were supportive, and the students came from all walks of life. Victor quickly became a favorite among his peers and teachers, not just because of his intelligence, but also because of his kindness. Back home, Felix and David grew more envious of Victor's success. Agatha's anger festered as she listened to her sons complain. "Mama, everyone keeps talking about Victor," Felix said. "It's like he's some hero. We can't let him keep winning." Agatha's eyes narrowed. "Don't worry, my dear, I have a plan." One weekend, Victor returned home for a school break. He greeted everyone politely, despite the cold stares from his stepmother and her sons. He spent most of his time in his room, reading and preparing for his upcoming school projects. On Sunday morning, a loud commotion erupted from the living room. Victor rushed out to find Agatha, Felix, and David standing over the broken family safe. The door was wide open, and the contents, money, jewelry, and important documents, were gone. Agatha turned to Victor, her face twisted in anger. "Victor, where is the money? Where are the documents?" Victor's heart skipped a beat. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said calmly. "Don't lie to me," Agatha screamed. "You're the only one who could have done this. You've been hiding in your room all weekend. What were you planning to do with our money?" Victor's eyes widened in disbelief. "Ma, I didn't take anything. You have to believe me." Felix and David smirked in the background. Felix stepped forward and said, "Mama, maybe we should check his room. He's probably hidden everything there." Agatha nodded, her voice sharp. "Search his room." Victor stood silently as Felix and David ransacked his small room. They overturned his mattress, opened his drawers, and dumped his school bag on the floor. Victor's heart sank when Felix triumphantly held up a small pouch containing the stolen jewelry and money. "See, Mama? I told you," Felix said, his face smug. Agatha shook her head in mock disappointment. "Victor, I can't believe you would steal from this family. After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me." Victor's voice was steady but filled with emotion. "I didn't steal anything. I'm being framed." "Enough with your lies," Agatha shouted. "I'm calling the police." The police arrived within an hour. Victor's neighbors gathered outside, whispering among themselves. Many of them knew Victor as a polite and hard-working boy, but the evidence seemed damning. The officer in charge, Inspector Chaik, listened to Agatha's story. She painted a picture of Victor as an ungrateful thief who had betrayed her trust. "He's always been jealous of my sons," Agatha said, fake tears streaming down her face. "I didn't want to believe it, but now I see his true colors." Inspector Chaik turned to Victor. "What do you have to say for yourself?" Victor took a deep breath. "Sir, I didn't do it. Someone planted the money and jewelry in my room to make me look guilty." The inspector studied Victor's face. "Do you have any proof?" Victor shook his head. "Not yet, but I'll find it." Victor was given a week to prove his innocence. If he failed, he would face legal action. He felt the weight of the world on his shoulders, but refused to give up. He began by retracing the events of the weekend. He remembered that Felix and David had been unusually quiet on Saturday afternoon. They had stayed close to Agatha, whispering and laughing. Victor decided to search for clues. Late one night, while everyone was asleep, he sneaked into the living room. He carefully examined the safe. The lock didn't appear broken, which meant someone with the key had opened it. He knew Agatha kept the key in a small box in her bedroom. The next morning, Victor's friend Chinedu visited. Chinedu was one of the few people who believed in Victor's innocence. Together, they hatched a plan to catch the real thieves. "We need to make them slip up," Chinedu said. "If they're guilty, they'll get nervous when questioned." Victor nodded. "Let's do it." That evening, Victor gathered the family in the living room. "I've asked a friend to help me investigate," he announced. "We'll find out who really took the money." Felix and David exchanged nervous glances. Agatha's smile faltered for a moment, but quickly returned. Chinedu arrived with a small tape recorder. He explained that they would record everyone's statements to help the investigation. One by one, Agatha, Felix, and David spoke. Chinedu asked simple but direct questions, watching their reactions closely. When it was Felix's turn, he stammered when asked where he was on Saturday afternoon. David became defensive when Chinedu mentioned the safe key. Agatha's composure cracked as Chinedu pointed out inconsistencies in her story. On the fourth day, Victor found the break he needed. While cleaning the backyard, he discovered a crumpled piece of paper hidden under a pile of leaves. It was a list of the stolen items written in Felix's handwriting. He also noticed a strange stain on Felix's shoes, which matched the mud near the safe. Victor showed the evidence to Inspector Chaik. The inspector returned to the house with a team of officers. After a thorough search, they found more incriminating evidence in Felix and David's shared room, including a duplicate key to the safe. Felix and David confessed under pressure. They admitted to framing Victor because they were jealous of his success. Agatha tried to defend them, but the inspector silenced her with a warning. "Your sons have committed a serious crime," Inspector Chaik said, "and you encouraged them. This ends now." Victor's name was cleared, and the stolen items were returned. The neighbors apologized for doubting him. Felix and David faced punishment, and Agatha's reputation was shattered. Victor returned to school with a renewed sense of determination. The experience had been painful, but it had also made him stronger. He knew that no matter what challenges came his way, he would face them with courage and integrity.